In ancient Mesopotamia, new doctrines were combined with old creeds by placing the abode of the gods in the stars. By a logical development of primitive belief, a powerful effect on the earth was attributed to the sun and moon, and a preponderating influence over the determination of destiny was assigned to the 5 planets, which, like the sun and moon, traverse the constellations of the zodiac. These were identified with the principal figures of the Assyrio-Babylonian pantheon. In accordance with the rank that was assigned to them, and also with the brightness, color, or duration of the revolution of the stars, relationships were established between stars and gods. To Marduk, the foremost of the gods, was assigned Jupiter, whose golden light burns most steadily in the sky. Venus was assigned to Ishtar, Saturn to Ninib, Mercury to Nebo, and Mars, by reason of its blood-red color, to Nergal, the patron of war. As for the fixed stars, singly or grouped in constellations, they were correlated with the less important lords, heroes, or genies. This was no impediment to regarding Ishtar as the goddess of the fertility of the earth, and worshipping her as such. Thus, as in the paganism of the Roman period, divinities assumed a double character, the one traditional and based on ancient beliefs, and the other adventitious and inspired by learned theories. Certain disturbances in the heavens, irregular occurrences such as appearances of comets or showers of falling stars, sufficed to maintain the belief in the exceptional operation of a divine will interfering arbitrarily in the order of nature. Priests foretold the future according to the stars, but by purification, sacrifice, and incantation, they professed to drive away evils and to secure more certainly the promised blessings. This was a necessary concession to popular beliefs, which the very maintenance of the cult demanded. But the divine stars were subject to an inflexible law, which made it possible to calculate beforehand all that they would bring to pass. We see a practical polytheism combined with the application of the exact sciences, and the gods of heaven subject to the laws of mathematics. This strange association is to us almost incomprehensible, but it must be remembered that in Babylon, a number was a very different thing from a figure. Just as in ancient times, and above all in Egypt, the name had magic power, and ceremonial words formed an irresistible incantation. So here the number possesses an active force. The number is a symbol, and its properties are sacred attributes. Astrology is only a branch of mathematics, which the heavens have revealed to mankind by their periodic movements. From their main discovery of astronomical law, the Chaldeans had deduced another important conclusion, namely the eternity of the world. The world was not born in the beginning, and it will not be subject to destruction in the future. A divine providence has from the outset ordered it as it shall be forever. The stars, in fact, perform their revolutions according to invariable cycles of years which succeed each other to infinity. Each of these cosmic cycles will be the exact reproduction of those which have preceded it. For when the stars resume the same position, they are bound to act in precisely the same manner as before. The life of the universe, then, was conceived as forming a series of vast periods, which the most probable estimate is fixed at 432,000 years. As early as the 3rd century BC, the priest Berossus expounded to the Greeks the theory of the eternal return of things, a theory which Nietzsche prided himself on having discovered. In the same way as it regarded numbers as sacred, this religion of astronomers deified time, the course of which was bound up with the revolutions of the heavens. At regular intervals, it brought back the moon, the sun, and the stars to their starting points. And as time seemed to govern their movements, time itself was naturally regarded as a divine power. It was the heavenly bodies that by their regular movements taught humanity to divide into successive sections, the unbroken chain of moments. Each of the periods marked in the unending flight of time shared the divinity of the stars, particularly the seasons. In their worship, old festivals of nature were combined with ideas derived from astrology. Among the stars, the most important were the moon and sun, and then the 5 planets. To them was given the name interpreters, because being endowed with particular movement not possessed by the fixed stars, they, above all others, make manifest the purposes of the gods. Worship was also bestowed on all the constellations of the firmament, as the revealers of the will of heaven, and in particular on the 12 signs of the zodiac and the 36 decans, which were called the counselor gods. Then, outside the zodiac, worship was also bestowed on 24 fixed stars, 12 in the northern hemisphere and 12 in the south, which, being sometimes visible and sometimes not, they became the judges of the living and the dead. All these heavenly bodies, whose movements had been observed from the remotest time, announced not only hurricanes, rain, and scorching heat, but also the good or evil fortune of countries, nations, kings, and even of individuals. The domain of the divine did not end at the zone of the moon. The Chaldeans also worshipped the earth, whether fruitful or barren, and the ocean and the waters that fertilize or devastate, and the winds which blow from the 4 points of the horizon. And they worshipped fire which warms and devours. Under the generic name of the elements, these primordial forces gave rise to the phenomena of nature. It appears the Chaldeans admitted that the principle of life which warms and animates the human body was of the same essence as the fires of heaven. From these fires of heaven, the soul received its qualities at birth, and at that moment the stars determined the soul's fate here below. Intelligence was divine, and it allowed the soul to enter into relations with the gods above. By contemplating the stars, the faithful received from them the revelation of all knowledge as well as all prescience. The priestly astrologers were always to some extent visionaries who regarded all the ideas which sprang up in their own minds to be inspirations from on high. Doubtless they had already conceived the idea that after death pious souls reascend to the divine stars from whence they came, and in this celestial abode they obtain a glorious immortality. When the Greeks conquered this land under Alexander, they found a deep substratum of mythology, along with a learned theology founded on astronomical observation. This observation revealed the nature of the world, the destinies of humanity, and the secrets of the future.